Hi guys, welcome. Welcome back. Welcome aboard. Welcome home. As always, completely dependent on where you are in relation to this energy, these messages, and this channel. This week we're going to be talking about what's up for the week of the 22nd of November through the 28th of November 2021. So we had a big week last week. We had a beautiful full moon in Taurus, lunar eclipse. The sun moved into Sagittarius, and we start this week with a Cancer moon. On Monday, here's the deal. Early in the day, kind of bask in your own sense of embodiment, right? That sun is moving into Sagittarius, which is going to give us a sense of that immersion learning that Sagittarius loves. So if you really can move from that Scorpio to Sagittarian energy, it's about feeling your way, kind of coming up from the depths, right? Afternoon will bring kind of a choice of whether you want to dig in or tap out, right? Because the moon in Cancer is going to sextile Uranus after squaring Chiron, right? So you have options. And here's what I'd like you to know. It's okay to choose resting. Not that I think you would with a Sagittarius sun in motion, but you might, depending on where it falls in your chart. So be aware that you might need some downtime. On Tuesday, we've got a couple of things going on. We've got a grand water trine, the moon, Mars, and Neptune, right? All having a little bit of watery energy for the day. And the sun is moving into opposition with the North Node. So, right, that's about how you witness yourself as your own future. Or how you're choosing to move toward your own future, right? So try as best you're able to be present in the need to balance your heart's needs over your 3D needs, right? It's a good day to kind of up your self-care game a little bit. It's okay also to lose yourself in like daydreams, right? We've got that grand water trine energy. And the way that we self-create, right, is through our dreams. So the other thing is overnight, pay attention to what you're dreaming, right? From that Tuesday into Wednesday. Because there's a lot that goes on overnight, right? The moon is going to be in opposition to Pluto. And it's going to be in conjunct Jupiter, kind of allowing for that bigness and that depth. And on Wednesday, right, Mercury is going to move into Sag following the sun's lead. So your expression is going to shift, right, from that internal, like, deep-seated need to really bare your soul in that depth charge kind of way, to a little bit lighter, right? You're going to want to talk about things. You're going to want to express yourself. And then the moon moves into Leo right after that. So that's a big giant helping of fire, right? And then the North Node is opposite the Sun and Mercury. Also, there's just a lot going on with the North Node. Shifting your expression, right, from internal to external. Keeping those things inside has been like an internal processing. You're going to want to talk about it now. You're going to want to you're going to want to create connection and conversation, right? How do you feel about this? How do I feel about this? Wow, that's exciting. It's going to be a time to really express yourself, to get fired up about what you've got going on in your heart, right? Express what's going on. Write it, sing it, draw it. I don't care. I always say interpretive dance is absolutely fine. Whatever works for you, just get it outside of you. All that stuff that's been piling up in your heart, in your soul, those things you've been working over, get them out, get them out. And then on Thursday, here's the deal. Thursday is Thanksgiving in the States. The moon is opposite Saturn, T-squaring Uranus, okay? So there's a lot of hard aspects, right? We've also got the moon, just a lot of fixed energy, right? A lot of stubborn energy. And by stubborn, we're not really necessarily saying anything about you, but we're talking about viewpoints, right? That my way or the highway viewpoint. There's just that tendency to kind of dig in, right? And we've got the moon in conjunct Venus and squaring Mars, right? So the fact of the matter is there's not a lot of give in this energy on Thanksgiving, when most people are going to be sharing time and space with people they ostensibly love and care for. So my admonishment, my caveat for Thanksgiving is to lead with love, lead with compassion, or, I mean, choose to stay home, right? Nobody's going to win. We're going to get there. Nobody's going to win on Thanksgiving. On Friday, you know, we're going to have an opportunity with the moon opposing Jupiter, right, being in conjunct Pluto. And there's a weak grand square also. It's just about kind of revisiting that energy from Thursday, right? The moon opposing Neptune, right, draws us inward or outward in too big a way, depending on whether or not you give a little bit more credence to Neptune, internal, or Jupiter, external. You have an opportunity to do a little self-discovery. It just depends on how you choose to deal with that, right? Because later in the evening, the moon is going to move into Virgo. So if you didn't choose to do your own internal processing, you're going to end up probably picking it apart anyway, eventually. So mind your process. Just mind your process. Be aware of it. And then on Saturday, the moon gets very busy on Saturday, not in a bad way, in kind of a good way, sort of a healing way, right? So the moon is in Leo, and we've got a beautiful yod, Chiron and Saturn, right? So this is about really doing that processing work in a deeper way. Again, creating a situation where you can learn from your patterns if you're willing to explore them. You might find your self-expression a little challenged, and that's okay, right? But you also have an opportunity to express yourself and discuss how you'd like to witness yourself in your healing process, right? What is your best possible idea of yourself? What is your best possible idea of how you would like to express yourself, how you would like to be in conversation? Okay. So you have an opportunity to really talk it out on Saturday in kind of a beautiful way, especially after having such a challenged couple of days prior. So you can do all of that healing work kind of all at once if you'd like to. And then on Sunday is I think it's a beautiful day. The moon is going to trine the sun and Mercury. We're trining. Hello. Neptune is trining Mars. Wow, that was a big mouthful to say. So it's very triny, very fiery, very watery. There's a lot going on that makes for a steamy kind of day, right? So there's some beautiful Venus aspects. There's some beautiful Mars aspects. So if you let this day, right, if you take your heart seriously, if you take your feelings as serious business, if you take your 3D experience as serious business and stay kind of in that dreamland on Sunday, you might have an opportunity to really bring this week to a beautiful conclusion, even if you had some rocky terrain to traverse. Look at, I'm seeing, I got a lot of doubles in here, y'all. And that's exciting. We're just gonna roll with that. Anyway, so Sunday, yeah. So you have a day that can be very practical in the 3D and also in terms of your visions, right? And how you'd like to be in creation, which is beautiful, honestly. And then the week after, what we're headed into is a Sagittarius new moon and solar eclipse, a total eclipse on the 3rd or 4th. So this next week we get a little bit dreamy. This week there's a lot of work to do. There's some friction in the air this week. But here's the deal, right? No grit, no pearl. So if you can dig into your grit, you can really, really come out of this week with some beautiful shiny pearls to carry into next week. And then next week, really kind of capitalize on that luster and shine, which will be quite beautiful, honestly. As always, oh nice. As always, it's exciting, and it's really just about being mindful of where the quicksand is, right? Where you're gonna step in a hole, and just being able to either work around it or plan ahead, right? I mean, wear waterproof shoes, or travel with a rope to get out of the quicksand. It's all good. If you know what's ahead, you can always plan for it, right? Or at least that's see, that makes me laugh. Okay, let's get at it, shall we? So all right, Monday. We talked about Monday as that kind of embodiment, right? This is the day that we're switching from that Scorpio energy to Sagittarius energy and really trying to let that set in. We've got just late aspects, right, between the moon and Saturn, the moon and Chiron, and then the moon and Uranus. So if you can either dig in or tap out, okay? So here we have Temperance, and we've got the Three of Swords. So here's the deal. Temperance is about combining, right? It's about allowing yourself to synthesize your lessons, to witness what's going on and combine things in a different way, to take what you've already learned and apply it. So this is beautiful Sagittarius, Sagittarius sun energy, right? Sagittarius loves that immersion learning. It really wants to experience for itself. We've also got the Three of Swords. This is about loss. This is about sadness. So remember we talked about dig in or tap out, right? You do have the option, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, to tap out. That's on you. That's your choice. It's always a choice, depending on how you'd like to play that. If that moon square Chiron is a little too much for you and it's overwhelming, you can give it a shot, try and mix things up, try and walk forward in a new way. And if it doesn't work, you can always tap out. You can always just say, tomorrow's another day, right? You get to do that. Especially if you need to, right? You're going to know better than anybody. On Tuesday, we've got that luscious grand water trine, right? And then we've got the sun opposite the north node. Okay, look, we've got the tower, we've got the world. Here's the deal. There are things that we don't want to carry, right? Things that we can't recombine, things that make us want to lay down and rest. Like, no, I cannot do that, right? That whole, I can't even. Everything comes in cycles. And if you can't, set it on fire, let it go, right? I have a little hashtag that says heal it or blow it the fuck up. And so this is that day. If you can't move forward carrying it, then just set it on fire and leave it behind you. You don't need to carry it, and you don't need to haul it around. You can just suddenly allow that to be part of your history, right? You're under no obligation to recreate your cycles, especially if there are things that are not in your best interest, things that aren't helping you move forward, things that are bringing you sorrow, things that are just too much in their recombination, things that are not strengthening you. If they're not strengthening you, then let them be part of that cycle and witness them as they go, right? This is cataclysmic change, guys. It's okay, especially when we've got that sun opposite the north node. Your destiny, the way you move forward, can be suddenly shifted, right? You can literally just wake up one day and say, this is how things are going to be now. I'm not going to carry this. I'm not going to choose this. I'm not going to do this anymore. If that's what you need to do, the only consistency you need to be is to your own inner compass, right? You're not obligated to be who you were yesterday. You're not obligated to be who your friends expect you to be. You're only obligated to be the best person you can in the moment. So let it fall away, right? Let it be on fire if it needs to be. Wednesday. Okay, so on Wednesday we talked about speaking your heart, right? Being in expression of whatever's going on, whatever you've been holding, whatever you've been keeping inside. So here's the deal. We've got the King of Pentacles, and we know that this Queen of Pentacles over here, right, she's down there, is the full embodiment of any sign, so, or any energy, right? So this is Earth energy. So we witness this King of Pentacles as knowing how to be in full embodiment, full resourced, but we know when to hold back, right? So on this day where we're talking about really being in, like, claim it, right? Name it. We want to do those things in the ways that make us feel abundant, make us feel resourced, make us ask for those things that speak to our self-worth, our value, and our values, right? That really discuss what we value. Now, the Five of Wands is a beautiful energy if you take into consideration that in the Five of Wands, no one is actually aggressive. They are just postured in defense, right? So if you need to defend yourself, right? If you're coming up with things that you've been piling up on, today is that day to release them, right? Put down the defense mechanisms. Put down the hold back, right? Being a holder backer doesn't help anybody, because not only are you not claiming what's in your heart or soul, you're also creating a situation where you have to be on guard if you're not fully authentic. So really dig into your power, create that freedom of expression, right? Big time as Mercury moves into Sagittarius and the sun moves into Leo. Claim it, right? There's earth, there's fire, you've got it all. You're on solid ground and you have the passion to do it. So speak it into action. So let's talk about Thursday, right? We talked about Thursday as being that really challenging day, where there's that big T-square, Moon and Saturn, T-square in Uranus, right? So that's about how your feelings are being a little bit rigid, perhaps. or held back, right? And so then that T squared Uranus like lends a little bit of fallout from this actual sharing. Well, here's the deal. We've got the Five of Swords and the Two of Pentacles, clarified by strength. Okay, so the Two of Pentacles, this is about juggling, right? This is about trying to maintain your balance in an emotionally turbulent moment, right? And it's about getting it done, right? I know what I can say. I know what I have to say. I know what I should say. I know what I want to say. But there's a sense of emotional turbulence here. And Five of Swords, right? This is about deception. This is about like Pyrrhic victory. This is about, well, I have things to say, or I want to win at all costs. I don't care what the consequences are, right? And strength, here's the deal. This is about speaking and knowing when to speak and when to hold back, right? How does this beautiful divine feminine best the beast? She understands that this demon, right, and I'm using it lightly, that the beast is part of her, right? She's only speaking to part of herself. So what is she balancing? Her own impulses. What is she winning? A victory over her own base impulses. She's seeking higher self guidance. So in any way, like we said, lead with love and lead with compassion, or maybe just disengage, right? Know when to look for balance, know when to tap out, and know when to lead with love. So Thursday is just a day to be mindful that you're probably not going to win, right? You're probably not going to win. So maybe discretion is the best part of valor, honestly. Friday, we've got that beautiful moon opposite Jupiter and conjunct Pluto, right? So, and that weak grand cross. So exciting. So this is about kind of processing, right? What we've been dealing with, kind of coming into culmination, and really looking inward and seeing where we're dealing with our narrative. How perhaps am I part of this? What am I looking at in the mirror that's creating these situations, these unwinnable situations where I felt like I can't speak my piece? Why do I need to use discretion, right? So we're going to look at this Queen of Pentacles. We're going to hearken right back here to Wednesday and say, all right, what did I need to get out? What have I been holding on to, right? And then you can really claim this truth. Even if you only do it internally in your own belief system, you get to claim your truth, right? So we've got this divine energy here, this polarity speaking back to you, bringing these things back through this this day, right? So we're going to bridge through Thursday, come to Friday and say, well, okay, what did I learn yesterday? And where did I learn it, right? What was my lesson? And this is about questioning your own beliefs, questioning your own structure, questioning the way you programmed through your acceptance of external truths. And this is about embodying your own truth, your own feelings of resourcedness. So there's a beautiful kind of opportunity that's created here to see where you're triggered and find how you express those triggers, and then notice how you can be in better embodiment of that healed piece of yourself, right? Saturday, we kind of talked about that very busy Leo moon, right? Maybe having a day where we want to talk about being in expression or discussion about our healing, right? We get to process all of this information and then create this almost like a discussion panel forum, either within yourself or with people that you love and trust, where you can talk it out, right? Even if it's scary, you can still talk it out. Now, here's the beautiful thing about this energy right here. The Eight of Swords bless her heart, she's always like in this ring of swords. She's blindfolded. The problem here is that she's not noticing that she's bound by her own beliefs, right? She could walk away from this circle of ideas, right? From this programming. She simply doesn't have the wherewithal to realize that she can do that. So this is anxiety, right? This is feeling trapped, and the basis of the entrapment is one's own beliefs. Now, we got the Five of Cups. Okay, so this is about being so preoccupied by, excuse me, by your losses, by your pain, that you're not noticing the two cups behind you that the universe has waiting and full for you, right? So where are you focused? Where's your fixation? Where's your point of awareness? Is it inside your own head, right? I've got my eyes closed. I'm only dealing with this pain, right? I'm only dealing with these injuries, perceived or real. I'm just telling my story. I'm just telling my story over and over again. Here's the deal. If you realize that you're alone in a room and you're still in pain, then the pain is inside you, right? So how do you deal with that? Well, if your focus is on these three spilled cups and you're ignoring these two that are behind you, perhaps the shift is in your focus, right? Because the Four of Wands is this beautiful card of hard work come to fruition. This is a beautiful card of you know, divine union. We've got this King of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles here. So we're witnessing this way to either be in union, whether this is in union in a relationship or simply the relationship with yourself, right? There's a lot of healing available in the witnessing of you as being your own worst storyteller, right? If you keep telling your horror story over and over and over again, and you're not looking for the places where you can be in reclamation of your own healing, that's a choice, right? That's a choice. It's a choice. And look, on Sunday, okay, we talked about Sunday being a day of those big trines, right? Fire trines, water trines, right? The day that you can very, very happily really, really deal with your heart as serious business. Stay in that dreamy space and not just the 3D, but also the visionary space. So we've got the Ace of Pentacles, right? How can I create these beautiful dreams? How can I speak my healing into being and benefit from it? Put it into action in my life, right? We've got the King and Queen of Pentacles up here asking us, how are you going to balance all of this week? And then create from this new opportunity, right? We know aces are gifts from the universe that have to be accepted with gratitude and put into action, not shoved in your pocket, not stuck in a drawer. You have to put these things into action. Who better to help you than the Queen of Wands, right? The embodiment of your passion, right? You know, you can use this passion to fight with, or you can use this passion to create with. And guess what? Using your passion to create with is going to get you a lot further in the end. And it's also going to create more for you in abundance. It's going to create more that will come back, as opposed to simply creating a situation where you're tied to some story, or you're constantly looking outside yourself for healing or validation, when all of your healing is going to be done within, right? That's what we're doing. So using that passion, using that motivation to create from not just your vision of your 3D life, but your higher vision, your highest vision. In fact, we've got a lot of majors and a lot of divine blessing here, in addition to a lot of things that are asking you to really look at the way you're moving through the world. What is it that you're carrying, right? What are you Where are you putting your feet? And where would you like to put your feet, right? We've got all these fives, really just creating that friction, creating that opportunity for those pearls to work their magic, right? Yeah, so, I mean, let that magic work for you. We've also got preloading, which of course is one of my very best favorites. And the thing about preloading is that it's about being in creation, right? Creation of whatever it is that is coming in for you. And that was a big theme here, right? How you're witnessing yourself in your story, how you're holding on to whatever it is you're holding on to, how you're creating that cycle, where you are holding on to any kind of deception, self-deception, or any other deception, where you're looking for that empty victory, right? Holding on to things that are external. These are ideas, right? So this is about ideas that don't belong to you, but you're still trying to manage them, right? Eight of Swords is all about ideas. Five of Cups is about what your idea about what you have is, right? And then you get to choose. You get to choose where your attention is. You have opportunity. So we've got this beautiful octopus. Look at that. He's so cool. I love octopuses. Octopi? Yeah. So let's talk about this octopus. Reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction, right? The octopus signifies a wonderfully perceptive mind paired with a lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships. The octopus entwines itself into other people's business and shares their own without restraint. They believe that that's what it means to be close. If you notice after spending time with someone that you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of the octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm. It may be a very old habit to change. So look, again, we're talking about releasing those old patterns and old beliefs, that this is the way it's got to be, simply because this is the way it's always been. And guess what? You have the opportunity to dive in. You've got, even if this is a true statement and it's talking directly to you about a relationship, you've got this King, Queen of Pentacles, this beautiful Four of Wands, and all of these beautiful cards that allow you to recreate your story. If this is about something else, if this is about a pattern in your friendships or your relationships or your pattern with yourself, you still get to witness that in terms of how you handle your divine self, your divine union within, right? And choose your highest and best. Choose your deepest and widest, your most passionate purpose, right? You still get to make those choices, because boundaries that we set are not just in external relationships. They're in relationships with ourselves, right? And you can definitely see that in the space that you give yourself, the self-talk, right? We even have a day where we're talking about up your self-care game, right? And allow anything, any patterns that you've been in to just fall away. The other thing about the octopus is that they're super resourceful, and they can get anywhere they need to go. They're super smart, and they're almost uncontainable, right? So imagine if you were creating from your own sense of uncontainable, limitless potential, right? We've got a 1-degree Gemini North Node that has a lot of activity this week. So you might want to jump on that bandwagon, right? And really allow all of this nonsense to just jettison, and then really allow yourself to celebrate at the end of this week, because there's tons of reasons. If you do this work, you know what you're doing. So good luck. Big blessings. I know you can do it, and we'll talk next week, right? In the meantime, be careful on Thursday. Yeah, dig into that gratitude if you can. Big blessings.